Okay, here, debating between three betting and folding. Three betting, I take it down pre, don't pay rake. Or I'm sorry, not folding, calling. Calling, I have a pretty strong hand. I'm gonna be out of position the whole hand. I don't mind having like nines in my calling range. I'm probably check raising the swap for value, well, mostly for protection, I suppose, but okay, when he calls, I suspect he should be calling a lot with some ace highs, two overs, hands like that. He could also just be calling with better pairs. So I'm not really sure what to do in this spot. I think maybe I'm just going to check. I don't really think betting makes, I guess betting gives him to fold a couple overs, possibly. Okay, when he checks back, I really think he's probably weighted towards overcards at this point. I guess he could have a hand like tens. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bet small and hope to get maybe like hero called by ace king or something. Okay, in this spot, I'm going to elect to three bet. Just try to take down the button open. Okay, Flava said it checks to me. We're going to go ahead and start trying to build a pot here. I guess I should actually choose a smaller sizing on this flop, but we get called, so we'll take it. Okay, we're just trying to get called by a 10 here with a larger bet size. Okay, when we get three bet, we are definitely four betting that hand. I mean, we could just call, but I prefer to just try to take the pot down, uncontested pre-flop, no rake, etc. Considering a four bet bluff here, I think the pool definitely does not four bet bluff all that often. I think his range is probably snug, just because he's three betting my cutoff open, but I think that hand makes a decent four bet sometimes. We have an under the gun open here, pretty small open. Tempted to three bet here with ace jack off. But against an under the gun open, I just don't know how well we're doing against that range. And having some like sort of stronger calling hands in my range here makes me feel nice. Okay, so here we have 2 overs, we have a gut shot, and we have a very small bet. So we're gonna continue. Again, this flop we get led into for about 1/3 size pot. We're gonna just try to get some value here from probably like a worse pair. We get led into for about a 1/3 pot size bet, meaning we need like 20% pot realization. We have 2 backdoors, king high, backdoor straight draw. Don't think we're folding just quite yet. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so he checked back the ace. Now he's raising. Shoot, I wasn't really paying attention here. Seems like, what kind of bluffs could he have here? He raised flop. Then he checked back the ace. Sorry, he bet flop, then he checked back the ace. I mean, I guess he'd have like 9-9. I guess like he just doesn't expect me to have many aces here. He'd have 3s. I don't know, this feels like a fold, but I just don't know what hands he could have. Because yeah, like why is he checking back the ace? Really weird hand. Weird that he elected to turn 7s into a bluff there. I think he was bluffing. Who knows? Okay, when I bet $1 and he calls, his range is super wide. I don't know if he's ever raising a king there. I think I'm gonna check and try to get value on the river probably. Okay, we're gonna go for some value on the river. I think we get called by pocket pairs, maybe a 7. Potentially he just has air here. I'm wondering if he checks back air, if I check, or if he tries to bluff. Or if he even, like, would he bet if he does have a pocket pair or a 7? Probably not, which, and I think I can get value from those hands, so I think I like betting here. What happened? Okay. Okay, he just has a king. Weird. Wonder why he didn't raise. Okay, under the gun, open. Hijack 3-bet. Just gonna have to let sevens go. I think this is a fine bluff here with twos on this board. It's pretty hard for me to miss this board. Pre-flop razor. We're just gonna barrel with twos there. So I expect button to have like maybe, I don't know, a lot of broadways here. Maybe some pocket pairs as well. This flop in particular is pretty good for our range. Well, it's really good for our range. Whoa. Try to get some money in this pot. Maybe c-betting quite often here. I think we are going to choose a smaller sizing. Okay, and we get raised on this flop. We are just going to elect to call. Okay, I really wish I didn't just snap check there. Guess like he maybe has a jack. I don't know what he's raising me with on the. It's like he likely doesn't have an ace if you just snap check behind. So maybe I'll choose like a little bit more reasonable size. I was gonna just overbet here, but. I really wish I just bet small on the turn. I think that's a mistake by me. Okay, this flop is really good. Really pretty good for the small blinds range. We're going to be betting pretty selectively on that flop. If he checks twice, his range is pretty weak. Okay, when he bets just, I mean, even just 1/4 pot, 1/3 pot, hard for me to continue here with this hand. Okay, we're gonna go for a steal here, or re-steal. This hand's just definitely too weak to call, and I don't hate if I get action. Same story here, actually. Okay, we're gonna go for a bit larger raise here, even though we are in position. Two players have already limped behind, or limped. So we're definitely sizing up. All right, that is a great flop for our hand. Wish we had ace of hearts. But we're just going to be c-betting a small size on that flop. Oh, there's ace of hearts. Okay, I actually think we're going to continue betting small here. And if we just block, well, I guess it doesn't hurt that there's flushes available as well. So I think betting small on this turn actually makes a ton of sense, regardless of the strength of my hand. Okay, this flop is probably slightly favors the small blind's opening range. However, with the jack being out of position, I'm just going to check. He bets about 1/3 pot. We're not going to fold. We need about 25% pot entitlement, and I think we certainly have that. With just our jack, I think he could be lead or betting a lot of hands here. Draws, straight draws, flush draws. 7x, jack X, he could be betting a worse jack. He could be betting a king. Again, similar story. Like I think it's hard to fold here. I guess like if he had a hand like 9-10, like he's improved greatly with that turn card. Okay, now it's especially hard to fold. We'll see what sizing he chooses here on the river. At this point, he's repping pretty polar. If he does choose a bet, okay, 3, so half pot. I need to be good here 1/4 of the time. Feels like I definitely have that much equity. He has maybe some missed heart draws. He maybe has like jack 10, jack 9, 7-9. He could have like 7-8 even that he's like sort of turning into a bluff here. I mean, or he could have 9-10 and we're just, but I just don't think we're folding. Okay, against a hijack open to a min open. Certainly not folding king queen here. Don't really want to bloat the pot out of position, so I'm just going to elect to flat call pre. Now that we flop top pair good kicker, I think there's no real reason for us to raise here, and I think we stand to have the best hand like a decent amount of the time here. Okay, when check two here, I think we can actually just bet small. Okay, on this turn, I think we do have some leads, or I'm sorry, on this river, I think we have some leads. Okay, when he just check raises me here on this spades, what hands could be check raising me with? Maybe like, yeah, spade draw for sure. Just king X really. I think, I wish I had a spade. Actually not having a spade maybe makes it more likely that he does. I don't think we're folding here. And then we'll see what happens here on the turn. Like, what types of king X does he have that he's not opening pre? You could have maybe like 8-8 or 5-5. I mean, there's not a whole lot of combos of those, or he could just have spade draws. He could have maybe like a king 10, but is he just piling money in like that? I just really don't think so. So now he's going with a 1/3 pot size bet, meaning I need about 20% equity. What hands can he have here, really? I guess he could just have, I mean, he's not going to be betting king X if the ace comes. He could have like the ace has spades, or he could have pocket fives, pocket eights. Either one of those hands makes the most sense, probably pocket fives, pocket eights. I think we're calling though. Pocket eights. Yeah, because I think with that sizing, like that's just like a value heavy sizing, if that's a thing. Fold. Okay, out of position, we're going to 3-bet a little bit larger. Okay, when check two, we're going to be c-betting selectively here. I don't think this hand makes the cut. Okay, we flop a gut shot after 3-betting. We are out of position. Should be fairly selective, but I think that this hand will make the cut. And I think actually this hand makes the cut for like a smaller sizing. Just don't think there's really a reason to choose a larger sizing with the pot already being so big. Because I'm just not sure how to size there, actually. I actually don't mind limping after we have one limper here, or completing, I guess. They probably got shots. We're possibly ahead. I mean, big blind could have anything. Limper could have some weaker hands, but okay, here I think like if it gets checked down, we stand to win the pot fairly often. I'm not really sure what to do in this spot. I could see an argument for betting. We do have 2 backdoor draws. I could see an argument for checking. We are out of position. We pick up some equity here, some showdown value, I mean. He could be continuing really wide on this flop, but he could also, I mean, he could very easily have an ace when he continues. He could be continuing with like, I mean, any pocket pair really. An 8, which there's, that would make that a bad card for us. I'm trying to think if we can get value here from any hands that he would continue on the flop with. I think like an 8 makes up a decent part of his range here. And like pocket pairs, and I'm not sure if any pocket pairs are calling. And I think like if he does have an 8 and we get raised, we're just like really upset. Okay, here we flop. I mean, 2 overs, backdoor flush draw. When we get 3-bet, or another gun open gets 3-bet, I think ace 10 is like pretty much the bottom of our range. Actually, this we're not under the gun, we're 4-handed, but still like near the bottom of our range there, just folding. Yeah, anyways, out of position here with, like, I think he's just continuing with a ton of hands, like ace X. We're just behind a lot. And I think like he's probably betting a lot when check too, but for this sizing, I mean, it just is, we just need a stronger hand to continue here. But I do need to make sure I'm, well, maybe not. I was gonna say I do need to make sure I'm checking some strongish hands here, like maybe some ace highs, some backdoors. That way I can continue in those scenarios. Okay, we're defending here, 4-6 suited. Now we're likely just done with the hand. Okay, here we flop an open ender and a backdoor flush draw against a small blind open. You know, I think we can just start betting and get folds by the river. Usually, like when he checks, I just expect him to be incredibly capped. Maybe I should just be betting larger here. Can we pick up a bunch of equity? King is probably all right for his continuing range on the flop. But like I said, we do have a bunch of equity and trying to get some folds. I mean, what types of hands is he checking flop on and then calling and then check calling? I'm sorry, and then checking the turn. Like I think King X, if he does continue here, I think King X is a decent part of his range. Okay, we brick. I mean, I guess he could have maybe like a 7 or something. I already said I think King X is a decent part of his range. Is he just check calling with King X on the turn? Do we think we can get him to fold a king? I think he really has a king. I mean, he could have a bunch of hands. Yeah, okay. Pretty easy. So we prefer to bluff. Yeah, I think I just bet bigger on the flop. Makes the hand easier to play, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I said a king is a big part of his range. And then I try to get him to fold a king with a pot size bet there. Okay, this is interesting. 3 into 8, 3/8. It's like about 33% pot realization. I imagine he's 3-betting pretty wide against a small line to open, especially min open. This is a pretty small open. I do have a small suited connector. I think folding's fine here. You know, I actually prefer 3-betting, 4-betting. Yeah, we screwed that hand up. It's okay. Okay, we get a really weirdly sized 3-bet here. Certainly not folding with 2s. At this point, I think he could, I think he could have anything. Here, I think ace high is actually like decent hand. Try a bit too loose to this steal. I need to get tighter from small blind steals. I think I should also bet this flop. I think I can get value from worse hands with a 7 here. I don't think he no reason to think he has an ace in the big blind. I think this 50 cents is like range capping actually. And I think we are going to attack it. I think he's got a lot of spade draws potentially. A lot of spade draws. Possibly some straight draws. Okay, now I suspect, I hope we just get the showdown here. Why did he check that hand back? What the hell just happened? What the fuck? Okay, I think this hand is, or this flop is just great for caller's range. I do have the ace of clubs and a gut shot though. And I actually, you know what? I take that back. I think I do like betting with this hand in particular. I mean, yeah, I got to be very selective on this flop, but I think this hand is one of those hands that fits the bill. We got a gut shot to the nuts. We have backdoor to the nuts. Okay, we are. Oh, I should have. Okay, when he checks his flop, I think he's pretty capped. Wondering if we can just start attacking. With his stack size, maybe he's not necessarily capped. Okay, facing a min raise here. Interesting. I think maybe he could be making sets on this type of board. He could be making a straight. I mean, we're not folding for a min raise. Okay, he chooses a half pot size bet here after checking the flop, which is interesting. I think we're going to take one more. Okay, so when he checks here, do we get him to fold a hand like pocket eights? I don't think so. Here, when this club comes and we have the nut blocker, we're just going to rip it actually. Once he checks behind on the turn, I mean, come on, bro. Did we win that hand? Queen 10 off. Tight. Okay, this guy couldn't even wait the one hand to post his big blind. I expect him. I expect him to be like a loser. I don't expect him to be a nit. How about that? Limp pot. A gut shot and a backdoor hard draw facing a decent sized bet. Not a ton of money behind. No, I don't mind a raise here. Okay, under the gun open, of course. Under the gun open. This is a stupid raise. Under the gun open to 175. I think we can 3-bet or just call here. I think we actually are just going to call. Ace queen off. Right under the gun's range is just pretty snug here. He just leads pot. We just could have a bunch of better hands. Okay, he checks his flop. I think if we had a heart, I wouldn't necessarily mind checking behind, but with our specific hand, just try to get some value going forward throughout the hand. It also sucks when you have a hand like tens or jacks or queens, the ace high flop comes and you check and they bet. Okay, I mean, I still have no reason to really believe that his hand is stronger than mine. And I think I can get some value from some draws and maybe like he literally could have like kings or queens. And I think like if he does have kings, well, draws will call like a larger bet. Kings or queens might. I mean, he could have jacks and that could be just getting owned. Okay, what types of hands is he? Check calling flop, check raising turn. I mean, to me, that seems like it's pretty underbluffed. I need to call 10. I need 25% equity. I mean, like, does he have any draws he's doing this with? Like, maybe he has some hearts. I mean, does he have like, I don't know, like king 10 of one of these suits or something? Okay, when he checks now this is really interesting. Are there any hands I can get value from here with a small bet? What types of hands is he check raising turn with? I mean, like if he's got me in a heart jar or something, I guess he could be checking jacks. But like, I just don't expect him to be checking jacks. He's only got 30 bucks left. Is this just a shove? Do I get called by worse? Ever? No, I think like my hand's just super strong. I think we just check back. Damn. Go ahead and bet. It's a crazy session so far. Okay, we just flop bottom two. We're just gonna start betting here. Maybe a check raise plays better with an ace-high board, actually. Okay, we're just targeting an ace, basically. A great river for us. That's probably a call. Okay, we flop a set here. Single raise pot, make quads. Here we're just gonna complete with fours. Okay, make quads and we get bet into. I don't think there's any reason to raise, especially with his stack size. And maybe if we just call, maybe he comes along, or maybe, I mean, he gets frisky and puts in a raise, who knows? Okay, here we're just gonna try to get it all. Never really sure what to do with like these small suited hands on the button after we get a limp. Like, does ISOing make sense? Yeah, sort of. Not really. I don't flop a great hand all that often. In fact, this hand might play better multi-way. Facing, God, look at that. This is basically a check, right? So problem is me just calling just really caps my range. These guys could just attack for sure, especially the short stack. Just bet 50 for no reason. Like, he just checks, man. Okay, facing a 3-bet from the small blind. Fairly small 3-bet. He's short stacked. The gates are just too strong to fold, and maybe a little too weak to jam. I think jamming just isolates us against a bunch of stronger hands. Although we potentially take down the pot pre, nobody's really four betting light that I've been seeing. Okay, he just bets half pot after 3-betting on this board. Yeah, I just don't think there's really much we can do with that hand. This would be a hand that like I would actually consider flat calling. I think if he was deeper. They're going to size up a bit because of the posted blind. You should have went to 2. Maybe I get squeezed. This is a pretty good flop for us. Yeah, we have all the nuts. Neither one of them do. With this short stack, expect them to sort of just jam with any king, really. Maybe even flush draws. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not a great turn for us. Some of his his pairs get there, right? But I mean against its stack size, I think we're just going to rip it here and hope to get called by me because he still has a ton of draws. And maybe now he's just got pairs plus draws. Or he's just got the nuts, and so do I. Hey. Brutal. King of limp pot. Just gonna be betting here. Actually, don't mind checking. Or if it's the same guy. Okay, when he's raising here, like what better kings is he limping really? So I guess like he's just repping a 3. We're not folding yet. Okay, when he checks back, I think he's just weighted towards air. How do I get more value from this king here? And is checking or betting? I just think he's really, really air heavy here. I would have liked to have seen his hand. Sucks if he checks back like 10s and I'm a fool. Yeah, fuck, it probably, I mean, it could be a hand like 10s. I think I got that one wrong. Oh, against this sizing, against this size stack, I just don't want to get jammed on if I 3-bet, so we're just calling. Now we're, well, I guess we have third play in the hand. I was gonna say now we're just never folding. This guy's stack. I think I kind of prefer a raise here to try to just get heads up. Maybe a smaller raise. Okay, when he continues, like that's really interesting. Guess I'm expecting him to continue like all of his flush draws, straight draws, pairs, plus backdoors. I mean, just hope he has a worse king, I suppose. Draw. All right, I think it's probably been an hour. I think we're just gonna go ahead and end the recording.